Hi students, and welcome to COM 100. This week we're going to begin by discussing ways that we communicate in an online classroom. Some of you may be new to online education, so you may not be familiar with the tools that you'll be using and the ways that you'll be interacting with your peers as well as your instructors. First and foremost important thing to keep in mind in an online classroom is that communication is key. If you have a problem, whether it be an illness, technology issue, problems understanding the course material, it's vital that you reach out to your instructor as soon as possible with a message letting them know what the issue is. When you contact your instructor, you should include some identifying information in your message, so you should let them know who you are, what the problem is that you're having, and what, if anything, the instructor can do to assist you. So for example, if you need an extension on an assignment because you've fallen ill or someone in your family has fallen ill, you need to make that request in the initial message. Likewise, if you're having trouble understanding the course materials, you should let the instructor know that as soon as possible so that they can give you supplemental materials to help you close that gap of understanding. When you identify that there is a problem, it's important to reach out as soon as possible so that you can get this situation resolved as soon as possible. Another element of online communication is communicating with your classmates. One of the ways that you're going to be doing this is via the discussion boards. There's a common misconception among online students that discussion boards can be busy work or just a hoop to jump through, and nothing could be further from the truth. Discussion boards are a vital part of online courses. Your discussion boards are a very important part of your learning activities each week. These are designed to demonstrate your knowledge of learning materials and your mastery of the concepts that you will be covering in your courses. In these discussion boards, you'll do things like practice skills, you'll analyze and synthesize information, and then share that information with your classmates. You will be creating new materials from what you've learned and discussed in the courses and sharing those. And in doing this, you're communicating scholarly ideas in the classroom with your peers. When you synthesize and analyze information, you're using academic skills, and when you're sharing the results of your synthesis and analysis, you're practicing communicating scholarly ideas in the classroom. This is all designed to build a meaningful learning community. Speaking of building a meaningful learning community, the next important part of online communication skills, critical engagement. When you interact with your peers on the discussion board, it's important that you do so respectfully, but also critically. When you reply to one of your classmates' posts, you should think about what they've posted before you respond. Your statements and your replies to your classmates should be deeper than "I agree" or "I disagree." Those are good starting points for conversation. If someone posts something that intrigues you, you could say, "I agree with your statement and," or "I disagree with what you've posted because," and then from there pull in personal experiences and learning materials that you've done, that you've learned throughout the week. And in this way, you're engaging with the content on a deeper level. You need to absorb what your classmates have said, consider it, evaluate it, and then reflect on it in your reply. These should be more than 1 to 2 sentences. These should be engaging replies that show that you have considered both the learning materials and your classmates' contributions to the course. When you engage with your classmates, it's important to engage with their ideas, not their identities. And when you disagree with someone, do so respectfully. We don't want to start arguments. We don't want to inflame or engage in a negative way. We want to challenge each other's thoughts and ideas, but not who we are as people. The last point that I want to make with the discussion and with critical engagement is to make sure that you're checking back on those discussion boards even after you have posted your initial post and your follow-up replies that are required, because oftentimes a student will reply to your post and they may ask you a question or they may engage you in discussion. You wouldn't leave the room while someone was speaking to you. So likewise, make sure you're checking back into those discussion boards and make sure you've answered any and all inquiries from your classmates to ensure that the discussion is productive as possible. Good luck with week 1. Should you have any trouble with this week's content, be sure to reach out to your instructor.